Good?
Now it's official.
Okay. All right, so we'll do the price reduction class. Called it unearned commissions. Everybody know what the most important thing about getting a price reduction is?
Selling a house?
Yeah. The motivation. Same thing when you take the listing. Why are they selling? Because if somebody's not motivated, the one thing you can't do is you can't motivate an unmotivated seller. I call them discretionary sellers. If they just want to throw their house on the market, I want to see what I can get. That's the guy you're going to waste a whole lot of time on. He's going to actually do 100 open houses. My pictures don't look good. The remarks are terrible. Nobody showed my house. You never call me back. There's no feedback. There's no showings. And they really don't want to sell anyway. So the motivation is where it's at. When you guys go into listing appointments, do you ask them what their motivation is on a scale of 1 to 10?
Not
No?
quite the same.
Yeah. So you go in, you ask, I sit down and I say, so John, you want to get to Florida by July. From a scale of 1 to 10, how important is that to you? You know, if they tell me they're a 4 or a 5, you know, not that I wouldn't take the listing, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, especially if it's overpriced. We're just talking about motivation. Motivation is the key to everything. If you got a motivated seller, you got a sale. Somebody tells me they're a 10, I might as well just go cash the check because they're ready to go, right? They're ready to go to closing. You guys ever go on this Terra Datum? I'm going to go through this top page and I'm going to go through everything in there. Basically what this is my listing packet. It's part of my listing packet and my price reduction packet. I kill trees, unfortunately. But this is everything I show them to get them to reduce their price. Yeah, oh yeah, here you go.
Thank you.
I think on our best month we did 27 price reductions in 30 days. Some of them were double. We took 2 in a month. Terradatum.com, and I can give you the username and password, is something the office pays for and you can utilize it. Basically what that does is it shows them what is going on in their township. So you can do it for a certain town. Some parts you can do it for a certain development. Like I know Four Seasons is in there. So you can look up the sales in Four Seasons. And it's basically, you know all those charts and graphs we do at the office meetings? That's what it is. It's average sales price, it's days on market, it's average sold price, how many listings. What that does is that it's going to price, but it's going to, 1, make you the expert in that market, and then 2, showing them what's going on. I call that part the lure. It's called the language of real estate. And may it be right or wrong, I show them what they need to see on those graphs to get them to price it the way we need to price it. If the average sales price says it's up 10%, and I know it's just that 1 month is a fluke because it had $1 million sale, I'm going to leave that page out. The MLS spreadsheets, and I'm going to go through all this in detail, but the MLS spreadsheets, I do the long spreadsheets like these, and I do it for show. I want to show them how much is on the market, and then I want to show them how little has sold. I don't know if I've included one, but you know, so I don't know if you do or do not know, but only about 10 to 12% of what's listed ever sells. In almost any town you look at, if you have 100 houses listed, 10 to 12 of them are going to sell. That's just what it is. So when I show them a list of 500 single-family homes for sale in EHT, and then I show them, you know, 50 that sold, they realize it's a visual. Wow, 7 pages of listed and 1 page. Oh yeah, 1 page of solds. Thanks.
You recording, Shawn?
Yeah, they got me on camera. Have a look.
Is there going to be a replay?
Wouldn't be as bad if you had your zipper.
Oh, that'd be pretty funny, right? I'm going to go through it. I'm just going through the first page so I can show you what I'm going to cover. Then I show the year-to-date class-specific solds. I am going to actually do some of this somewhere so I can actually show you live.
What page are we on?
I'm on the top page. I'm just reviewing what I'm going to go over. So like if you pull up on the MLS, and I'm actually gonna do it as we go through it, you pull on the MLS, you can say, you can do specific, you can, let's say, most common, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So I'll put 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and then I'll put, average sold price from, what month is this, May, June? So do it from June this year to June last year, and then I'll do it from June 15 to June 14. And I'll show them the average sold price of 3-bedroom, 2.5 baths. Because if you look at it, no matter where you look at it right now, 14 to 15, you will see a decrease in price.
You're doing doing a month, a year?
I'm doing a year to show them, and it's, again, this is all for a fact. It's real. The prices are dropping. There's no question. If we don't know that, you need to educate yourself because the prices have dropped. So, but you just sitting to a seller and say, listen, your house went down 10%. It's just not effective.
Right.
You have to educate them. You have to show them. You have to be visual. You know what I mean? So this is all just for a visual. And I'll keep saying it for those of you who walked in. None of this matters if you don't have a motivated seller. If your seller tells you they're, I'm going to say, you ask them how motivated on a scale of 1 to 10. If they tell you a 6 or less, none of this matters. You could show them, you know, whatever you want. They're just not going to. If they're not motivated, they're not going to be that 10 to 12% are going to sell. So I'll show you that. It's going to be very powerful. Then show them specific similar homes. Then you get into the normal, the regular stuff. You get into the MLS listings. You want to find very comparable listings that are active, sold, and under contract. And of course, if they are at 9 or 10, don't leave until they sign. Right? If they're a 2, you know what the best part? If you sit in front of a seller and they say, yeah, I'm not really that motivated to sell, and then they say I want a price for $300,000, it's worth $200,000. Tell them, yeah, hey, listen, I appreciate it, but I think I have somebody else I can refer you to. I don't think we're a good match to work together. And the look on their face when you tell them you're not going to list their house is priceless. Mm-hmm. Because, and a lot of times it'll make them, sometimes make them say, like, well, what do you want to price it at? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because nobody likes to be told they don't want to work rejection. With you. Exactly. Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm going to go through each detail now. So the second page looks like this. This is our, and actually I got to update this because now we're outpacing the market in like 6 different categories. When Dan goes over them at the meetings, you guys see this at the meetings, right? Right? Yeah, that's from Broker Metrics, and that's something else. You guys get those by email?
What,
After the meeting? Like all the stuff, the graphs and stuff, he sends that by email, right?
Yes.
So that, put in your listing packet. Especially like that one there was one we gave out saying that we have the most buyer size. That's the kind of information that validates you. You know, why list with Keller Williams? Because we have the most buyers. Why list with Keller Williams? You can tell what we're up. Because everything behind this, we're going to show them the market's down, yet we're up. You know what I mean? So I go over our lure for the office. I might have these stapled backwards. The third page, it says sold 12/2014.
Yeah.
It does, all right. Well, this is the visual I'm telling you I was going to do on the MLS. So, actually, I'm just going to go to the MLS.
I
What
think I
you looking
just
at?
lost track of what
This
we're-
one. The third page should be third.
Is this for someone that you have a contract with
Yeah.
and want to
This can
reduce?
actually be used when you're listing a property. My listing packet has the same stuff as my price reduction packet.
Oh, okay, I didn't understand, because here it looks like this one you're trying to get someone to list,
Right,
and it was already listed, saying how good the office is,
Right.
seems to be
right.
superfluous, you've already
Well,
convinced them.
And you're exactly right, because I can use it on listing presentations or or price reductions. Do you know what I mean? It's, so I can, if I've already went over the lure, I can just skip over it.
Oh, okay,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I put it in there to let everybody know. So let's do 3, 2, 1. What did I do, Galloway? Let's do like Herbert Township. So I do Herbert Township. There's, it's saying we're listing a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. I show them. I print this out. It's probably 3 or 4 pages. 222 3-bedroom, 2.5 baths for sale. Then what I do, and this is what you're seeing on that 3rd page, is I show how many sold in the last 30 days. And that gets you an absorption rate. What did I say? No matter where it is, it's 10%, 10, 12%. Consistently, no matter what town you do it in. Pleasantville, Lansing is like 5%. But what this does is it gives them a visual. It's all about the visual. So, you know, if Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if you want to get to Florida by July, we need to be in the 10% that are going to sell. 10%. You have 200 houses for sale, like yours. That's only like yours. That's not including everything. We need to go in the 10%. How do we get there? Price, condition. That's it. So it's all going for a visual. This is what's sold, 222 listed. So that's the second, and then the third, sorry. Oh, I just did 3rd page. So there's a long list of actives, short list of solds. Again, it's a visual for them. 2, 3.
I've consolidated down to, I do like a CMA sheet, a summary sheet. And
You
it actually,
showed us that last time. That's actually a great tool.
yeah, that works out.
I actually did use that.
Yeah, it saves paper and it just kind of like
does
gives
save
more
paper.
impact.
Right.
I think.
And that's has the actual listings on it, right?
Cover listings, the
Right.
solds, the expireds, if you want to put expireds
Right.
in
And you
there.
can do it in like a line like this, or you can do it with one picture, right?
I do it, it comes out with a printout, just of it, right across. It doesn't say the agents or anything like that.
Right, exactly.
That's
It's
the
like this.
summary you said, Tony? You did the summary?
Yeah, CMA summary.
Mhm.
But you can, while you're doing the search, as he just did, you can put into the search solds, and you can select a time frame for the solds, you can select the time frame for the actives, and if you want to do an expired, you can add that in there as well. And it kind of gives you, you can now show people that this is how many homes are on the market, this is how many have expired. You know, where do you want to be? This is the number that's sold, and this is the price ranges that they sell. It shows the listed price plus the sold price. So it kind of gives you more meat to
And
chew
it
on.
tells you the days on the market too. You include
Tells you
that.
days on the market
Yeah.
as well, yeah. I think it just consolidates it a little bit. As Shawn was
Next,
saying,
yeah.
the impact of seeing the numbers, I think, has a lot.
It's all visual.
It's all visual.
It's all visual, because like I said, you can tell them if you're blue in the face, they're not listening. You have to show them. And it takes time, You ask Barb, ask agents that have a lot, it could take you 6 months, a year to get the price right of consistently doing stuff like this. The next page is, it says 2013 year over year. This is an old packet, obviously. So what I just did was, I did sold properties, same thing, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, Egg Harbor Township. I did from 14 to 15. And again, I'll print this out. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking at the average and the median. So 239 is the median, 258 is the average. And then if I go year over year, if I go 15 to 16, by the way, there's more units every year. Units are up, prices are down. Median's 226, average is 233. Do you remember what the last one was? Actually, let me see. Because then a lot of times I'll put the percentage of what actually they were down. Because these are real numbers. I'm doing them live. It's not
Shawn,
like...
do you take your computer or your pad or something? Or do you
No, I have an iPad if my kids don't have it, and but most of the time I print it out. But if you have an iPad, it's great because you don't got to waste all this paper. It's you can just literally do the search. So 258 was the average. Let's just see. think it was 233. Yeah, it's 233. That's 25,000. That's 10%. That in the average of 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath sold in the HT year over year, they're down 10%, which is pretty consistent with all of 15. The prices were down about 10%. So this is real numbers, and you could even go back to track it as far as 13 to 14, 14 to 15, 15 to 16, and show them that it was 5%, 12%, 10%. Are you going to wait till 16 is 10% so we can sell your house $25,000 less? Do you know what I mean? It's just.
Are you just picking up 3 or 4 bedrooms?
I'm picking up 3-bedroom, 2.5 baths or larger.
I was wondering, is there any way to just restrict it to 3 bedrooms?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, you
That's what I
search,
thought.
just
just put 3.
put 3 there.
Okay, never mind.
That's it.
That,
Yeah.
that changes the numbers out a lot.
Yeah,
That's an exact comparison too.
that would be an exact comparison. And actually, here we can actually do it. This is 15 to 16 sold. Average price was 205 and 199. Again, more units. 213, 217. So they're about 5% down. If you look at just 3 2.5s. So again, it's all visual. We now showed them that our office is great. We showed them there's a whole lot not selling. 90% of it's not selling. Now we show them the prices are down on average in your category, your specific town, your specific size, are down between 5 and 10% over the last 2 years. Then I get into specific properties. I want to go through and I want to show them 3 2.5s. So like, you know, I'll go through actives. Now, actually, Tony, walk me through that summary real quick.
Just, well, you want to do it to all of them, all the categories?
I want to do 3
Active?
2.5s.
All right, you're right there,
categories.
just active, type in active, type in sold. Now, if you want to go to a year back, just pick your listing date, what year you want to go back to.
Listing date?
Yeah, from what, like, I'll take it back a year from there if you want to. Okay, and then on the close, I would do the close like 6 months. I'll just go back 6 months. Okay. Now go to your top right, the reports. All right, you're right.
Other end.
That's the other.
Now go to
Go down
reports.
to summary, CMA. Click the summary, middle one.
There you go.
So that gives you the number of homes that are on the market at that price range.
I don't usually
And
go back a year, but
I'm just
this
saying you
saves
can put
a
any
lot of
range.
paper. Like,
Yeah.
Tony showed me this last time. I don't use it this way. I really should, because this saves you a lot of paper.
I think it's easier to see because it gives you also, I like the part with the solds. You can see what they listed it at and what they sold it at.
Right.
So that kind of gives you a little bit more. I mean, there's the second one, actually sold higher than the first.
Yeah. Probably closing costs. Yeah.
That's the same one I use, Shawn.
Is it?
Mhm.
Yeah. This is good.
I
This
don't
actually
really-
shows you that once it's priced right, it sells.
It'll sell.
So when
I-
they tell you, because the
Exactly.
common objection is, well, I want to price this so I can have some room to negotiate. Well,
There's no-
97% is what people are getting for their house, but not until they get to that price. It's either you're at the price or you're not.
There's
If
a
you're too
nice-
high, you don't get the
I don't-
buyer.
There's a nice chart in your toolkit CMA that shows that graph.
It
Use
does,
that one.
yeah.
It's the first few weeks that you're listed is when all the buyers looking for your home are out. And if you're overpriced, they don't come back 5 weeks after you start to reduce it. They're gone.
There's actually a report on this, I've done it before, that shows you what percentage of list to sale price sellers got in the first 30 days, next 30 days. There's a report in there. I did it once before. I couldn't
I wouldn't
include it
do,
right
I
now.
wouldn't do on the contracts because that's fictitious information. But I would definitely do the expireds if you want to add a active, sold, and expired. That way it tells them, well, you're gonna be one of the expireds
Right.
at that price range.
Yes,
We're so much into these bank loans right now.
right.
How
That's
much does that play a part in somebody who's not a bank loan? I mean, it's gonna affect them, but I mean, when appraisers look at it, they know that it was a hardship.
Yeah.
So how much is it really impacting our sellers across the board?
They're not supposed to use bank loans unless they actually have to, in an appraisal.
So
for a
they
mortgage.
shouldn't be using
They
them.
shouldn't be using them. Places like Pleasantville, I think they are. I mean, it's 60% short sale and bank owned. Yeah.
So if appraisers shouldn't be using them, should we be using them in our house?
If I have a regular seller, most times I'm not. If it's a predominantly like Pleasantville, I will look at them because it's gotten to
So
the
many,
point,
they've
there's
got
so
to be
many.
affecting the market.
But if you look at like let's say, I'll show you like Galloway, like I track these bank owns like pretty hard, so. So there's 283 single-family homes, hold on, here, scratch that. There's 323 single-family homes in Galloway for sale. If I take out the short sales, and I take out the bank owns, 251, what did I say, 320?
323.
323, so
80.
10%.
Roughly 80.
Yeah, it's 80, you got, that's about 25%. So 75% of your inventory is not bank owned, I wouldn't use it. Now, if it's a short sale I'm listing, I'm gonna look at short sales.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Where
Yes.
Pleasantville is, I think it's probably upwards of 50%. Everybody know how to get to these graphs?
Yes, Debbie?
Yeah. That's
I
it.
like that answer.
She doesn't want that.
Go to the source, right? Is that what
On
I'm teaching you? Go to the source.
Datum, we use
Sarah
Debbie's
Datum,
name.
right?
Yeah, if you want, I'll give you the username and password. It is Debbie Bair,
See?
DEBIBAIR @gmail.com. That's the username, and the password is Debbie DEBI1234. Use the. Do I have it right on there?
Say that again, Shawn? Debbie Bear.
Debbie Bair @gmail.com. And then the password is, or just her first name, Debbie, DEBI1234.
And
All
what
lowercase?
website are we going on to get that?
It's on the front page.
Oh, I
The
don't have a
Terra
page.
Datum. Oh, I'll give you mine when I'm done.
That's all right.
It's the terradatum.com. Use it exactly how you see it, the CMM/, because it's almost impossible to find the login screen from their site. And I'll show you that real quick here, because, again, and this could be for
Thank you,
listing
Rob.
presentations or price reductions. I use this on every listing appointment. So again, we'll stick with Galloway since we were looking there. I click residential, I click cities, type in Galloway, and I do what I always do a year. Now again, like I said, we call this the language of real estate because this is the numbers. Everything we've done is really, anything with numbers is language of real estate. It's telling you, it's giving you your map on where the prices are, where they're going, where it should be priced at. However, if I know a seller is overpriced, and I look at these graphs, and this graph says the prices are up 10%, but I know everything else over the last 2 years is down 10%, it might be just 1 month that's off, I am not going to show my seller that. Because now I'm going to go into an upward battle. And I know in his or her best interest, you do not want them now to raise their price 10%. Follow? Alright. I go over these. Depends on kind of personality. If it's a real dominant, short-tempered person, I'm not going to go like for the next half hour.
Right.
If I have an engineer or a real, detail-oriented person, I'll go through these very thoroughly. But all this goes to what I'm trying to do. By the end of this, either they're going to just tell me to get out of their house, they're going to be so tired they just reduce the price, or they're just going to be frustrated, like, okay, what do I got to price it at? Because after a while, you just can't deny what I'm going to show them. So the median, like, again, median list price is down, sales price is down, this, and most of the times when you look at this, it's like that. So it's, you almost can't argue it. And the sellers see it, they see all these foreclosures, under contracts, flat, new properties listed, or under contracts, down 50%. For sale properties, I'm sorry, new properties on month. So the inventory went down for that month in May, almost 40%. That's actually good. You want less inventory. We need, like, these kind of numbers over 6 to 12 month period, you'll start seeing less inventory. Less inventory means the demand will suck up more of the inventory, which means the prices should eventually go up. Amount of total properties for sale, down slightly, that's good. Expired properties down 16%, so more sold. This is always a good visual. You know, I always say this is the, remember I was telling you, 90% won't sell. That red is that 90%. That green is that 10%. You know, some of us remember when there was like a little speck there. You couldn't even see the green. So the green is growing, but we got a long way to go before the prices are going to go up. Until you bridge that gap, the prices will not stop going down. Supply and demand. Average days on market up slightly. And month supply and inventory, 11.5 months. And this is just for Galloway, so you can make it specific to the town. I'm actually going to go in and see if there's actually, there's some subdivisions that are in here. 11.5 months, way too much inventory. You need to be at 3 to 6 months. If there's more than 6 months, you're in a seller's market. I'm sorry, you're in a buyer's market. If you're under 6 months, if you're under 3 months, you're in a seller's market. 3 to 6, you're kind of in a balanced market. So we're still way in a buyer's market. So I think subdivisions. Give me a. That's not gonna. Give me a subdivision. Anybody? Well, Four Seasons I know is definitely in there.
Oh, yeah, which Four Seasons say?
Yeah. Now sometimes the development's too small. There's sometimes they don't get enough data. But here you go. Average sales price is down 1%. Sold properties, the list prices are down slightly, as well as the prices themselves.
But my house doesn't lose much.
Yeah. Now, I mean, some of the data, because it's such small numbers, it's down 71% in under contracts, which is true. I mean, it just went from 7 in May down to 2. You know, I mean, so some of you take with a grain of salt, but
Well, usually they sell
if
about
nothing
4
else,
months
it
in there.
brands you as the expert. Because if you bring this into listing appointment for Four Seasons, aside from Barb, of course, because she has it, nobody else is going to have it. If you asked them what the average days on market were on Four Seasons, they'd have no idea. They'd be completely guessing.
But there's a lot of other senior communities that nobody's hitting.
Oh, I bet.
I don't understand, what about the Egg Harbor Township? Why aren't agents
What's
doing
another
what I'm
one?
doing in Four Seasons, huh?
The villages,
The villages?
The villages, yeah, there's so
Little
many
Mill.
senior communities at Tavistock.
Villages at English Creek like
The
that?
Woods.
Yeah,
I don't know why they don't hit them.
I don't know why they're not hitting them either. I'm not there, go get them, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Stay out of
If-
Four Seasons.
Stay out of Four Seasons.
the 55
Well,
dollar communities
that's
are a great market. The average sales prices are always in the
They are.
2s. A lot of people don't have mortgages. There's hardly any short sales. There's not that many bank loans. I mean, it's actually, and they're nice houses.
And they're not
Travis
that old and
stock,
they.
you got Travis stock that's not doing anything. That's another one, Tavistock.
Tavistock, I just had a client the other day was gonna buy Four Seasons and bought Tavistock. It's $135 a month. It's nothing compared to Four Seasons, but their kids live in Mays Landing. So there's adult communities that are not.
There you go, guys. You got anybody? Does everybody have too much business? Because if you don't,
No,
go
but I
hit the Four
think that,
Seasons, the little communities. Because I mean, and they're great because I think you
And
do a lot of mailers. Mailers actually work.
There's a lot of accountants and engineers, and these figures mean a lot to these people.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you go in and say, hey, listen, unfortunately there's 15 months supply in your neighborhood to an accountant or an engineer, or the average days on market is 79, like, they think you're like the smartest person, because if they interviewed 3 people, I can tell you, the other 2 have no clue what this information is, let alone where to find it. Let's do one more. Something like Pinehurst. Oh yeah, there is, okay. What about like Zion Park?
that it's not
I
gonna be
know it's there.
I'm just curious, like.
It was there.
It was, it was. Well,
It was
what it
there.
is, if somebody names it in a subdivision in the MLS,
Yeah.
And it comes up.
you have to have a lot of people name it. Do you know what I mean? But you can
Good
get
side
specific.
farm.
It did
What's that?
come up. I think it was 3 in there.
Well, I
3 or
have,
8.
I have a kind of a question. If the agent doesn't put the subdivision it's in, it's gonna get lost.
It's not gonna come
It
up,
won't come
right?
up.
You need like a real subdivision. I mean, I was just kind of playing around. Like Four Seasons, 90% of your agents are gonna check Four Seasons. Ballinger Woods, no, it wasn't in here actually, but not that, I think there's probably been 5 sales there in the last year, but, I'm trying to think of another large development, like the Villages,
I'll
I
tell
guess.
you, yeah, there's been a lot of, activity out the Oaks at Weymouth too, and the fairways. A lot, I had 2 sales out in the Oaks last week.
There you go, there's
Well,
16 in the Oaks the last 12 months. I just had one in the Oaks.
Yeah. There's a lot of movement in those places.
Prices are right.
Sometimes there's not enough data to really
Yeah.
get it, but you
And there's new
can,
construction there, and they'll pay you 3% commission if you just bring on buyers, so.
yeah, look at that, there's a 6-month supply in Oaks and Weymouth. It's probably the best supply I've seen in the county.
Well, go get them.
All right, what questions do you have? Do you have any questions? That's about my presentation. Again, everything comes back to motivation. Because none of this matters if they're not 7, 8, or 9, or 10. If they're 1 through 6, and if you would like to take the listing, by all means, Beth can tell you if there was 1, he was unmotivated, he overpriced it, and he was the guy that was just a thorn in her side for like 4 months. Pictures weren't good enough. I wanted more open houses. The comments weren't good. You know what I mean? In the end, it was overpriced. So you got to really decide if they're like a 1 on a motivation scale and they want to overprice it. It might not even be a good idea to take it. It used to be you'd get calls on the sign at least. Now the
Not
sign calls are so
necessarily.
minimal. Because if it's on the internet and it's overpriced, the agents, the buyers know. They're savvy. They don't. You can't pull the wool over their eyes. If it's supposed to be listed at 200, they know what it's worth. The information's right there. Cool. Go get some price reductions.
Yeah.
I think we got a contest coming up for price reductions, so I'm gonna try to do 25 of them in 30 days.
There is no try.
Well, you're right. Actually, you're exactly right. We will do 25 in 30 days. Actually, we should make I think our goal is going to be 30 in 30 days. The last time I think we did 25 in 30 days. So that's what's going to sell them.
Alright.
Go get them.
Thanks, Shawn.
You guys have any questions at all? Let me know.
Did you guys see my new listing up there?
No.
What do you got?
475,000. It is to die for. It's
It better be for 400.
It is, it's practically maintenance free inside and out.
It's not the one.
Walls are stone.
It's not the one. What's the name had? Is it? Oh,
No, not at all.
Go over it.
It's in Four Seasons.
Yes.
Tony, what do you?
Let me take a look at it, just